Hello everyone, this is Jeff from the INTJ equation. I thought I'd try something new to push my SE inferior here a bit. One great benefit of the coronavirus is me being able to work from home. I'm sorry for those if you did lose your job. But we are all able to find some extra time out of this and maybe even spend it with family if you're into that sort of thing, which you're probably not. But here's an experiment just to add a little more visual flair to my work. So please, feedback is always welcome, positive or negative, as long as constructive. Trolling will be ignored. On how it can be improved, I think for most INTJs, feedback is pretty crucial for us to learn and grow and for self-improvement. So if you don't take criticism well, I suggest you learn to do so. So here's my first video, and we'll touch on introverted feeling, or FI as it's more commonly known as. For me, FI is quite a misunderstood function, probably the most misunderstood function after NI, or introverted intuition. Most people, especially in the MBTI community, undermine FI, saying it's just really based on one's emotion, how the FI user feels. That is true, but there's more to it than that. FI is also like a personal valuation system. It gives a person a set of morals. And those morals, of course, could be positive or negative, just like emotions could be positive or negative. And as INTJs, we're often found guilty of lacking emotion. We're kind of seen as emotionless robots, and we're cold and calculating. But that's, of course, not true. We do feel emotions, and sometimes we feel emotions very deeply. We don't always have a strong grasp on our emotions and quite understand them, but we do feel them. Carl Jung assigned a proverb to introverted feeling, and that proverb is still waters run deep, which is referring to like an ocean or a lake where it may appear calm on the top of the surface, but deep underneath the surface there's waves and currents and whirlpools, and it's quite violent and dramatic at times, and there's also a whole array of life that you can't see, on top of the surface. And this kind of refers to introverted feeling, that it's introverted in nature, meaning that a person may appear calm on the outside, but deep down they have these emotions that are raging or strong, and also these value systems that are propelling and driving the FI user. And depending how high the FI is in a person, it could be their main decision-making function. But for INTJ, to get a little bit more technical, I want to jump into some of John Beebe's work. For all the 8 cognitive functions, he assigned 3 words or 3 phrases for each of the cognitive functions, and for FI, he selected judging as the first stage, or what people may interpret an FI user doing. They may be judging someone or something. The next is appraising. This is typically what the FI user feels that they're doing. They're appraising something. Then kind of the end result, what results from the FI user appraising or judging something, is establishing the value, or what I call moralizing, I think is a better term. To get a little more specific for INTJs, FI falls in the 3rd function for us in the cognitive stack, or the tertiary function, which John Beebe called the pura aeternus, or pula aeternus. Depending on your gender, it means internal boyhood or girlhood. And C.S. Joseph called it the child function, which kind of simplifies it and rolls off the tongue a bit better, if you ask me. What John Beebe did here, compared to what the MBTI did, is he assigned each function an attitude based off a Jungian archetype. And this Jungian archetype is the pura aeternus, which is where the person's innocent and immaturity kind of resides. And for INTJs, we can definitely be immature with our FI, because we don't always have a strong grasp on what we feel, or sometimes we take what we feel and be selfish with it, really. I mean, kind of we fall in the NI-FI loop, or the NI-FI loop, whatever you want to call it. And I definitely think FI is kind of where narcissism resides as well. Not that F users can't be narcissistic, and I've seen plenty of FE users that are narcissistic, even maybe more so than FI users, which will kind of jump to what Jung called the shadow. Another Jungian archetype, which Jung called the shadow, is another side of the mind that works against our ego, or the primary side of our mind, What works against our shadow, especially our FE in particular, is FE trickster. And a trickster function is an archetype that is manipulative or deceptive. How the trickster function works, it pretty much makes a person devoid of a specific function. In our case, that function is FE, or extroverted feeling. FE trickster pretty much makes us totally unaware of other people's feelings and emotions, and we cannot really pick up on social cues and social norms. Another way that FI and FE kind of contrast is FI, as I talked about, is personal morals, personal values, while FE is more like the collective values of everybody, like ethical issues, and we really don't have that, which kind of is one of the reasons why that gives us such a pragmatic, independent nature from everybody else compared to others. Well, thank you for watching. I wanted to keep my first video short and sweet and to the point. You can visit my website at www.intjequation.com. I also have Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and Instagram at INTJ Equation as well. Thank you again for watching. Please leave some comments below on how you liked the video, how you disliked it, so I can improve for the next time. Thank you.